What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, July 30th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Coming off another winning day. We're now less than a half unit off our high watermark. 2-1 plus 1 unit because we cashed with the Rays plus 110. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks and Gamblers First Glance that helped push us towards that bet. We lost Cincinnati, Chicago Cubs first 5 under 3.5 in the bottom of the fifth with 2 out with a 2-run home run. It was heartbreaking. It also took down Jose's Say Hey play of the day. So, it was an extremely irritating situation. And Jose would have came in here back to his winning ways. I would have come into the show 3-0 because the Blue Jays' first 5 was an easy casher. That correlated with the Rusty Kuntz play of the day. So we're doing well. Now, you could say that I'm overthinking it and maybe overanalyzing market moves to get off the Pirates Brewers, where the whole time I was like that first 5 under 4, and then it goes to 4.5. But it was my favorite play on the board. But why did it go to 4.5? It messed me up. And you could say, yes, that left money on the table. But you know what else took me off? The same analysis took me off the White Sox. The same analysis took me off the first 5 over 5 with the Giants and the Dodgers. So, yeah, I'm overthinking things to some degree, but it's working. It's working. It continues to work, so I'm not going to question it at this point. But I respected C-Mac on the Closing Line show for making that under 4.5 the best bet. I respected it. But for me, I have to stick to what is working. And what is working is breaking these games down to the nth degree with you guys. And starting with the initial breakdown, then moving to where the market is, moving to the baseball data, pitcher versus batter, and then moving to where the cash lies. That's working, so I'm going to stick with it. And I'm loving what we're doing. We're up 17.99 units on the season. We're hitting at 55%. We're 42 games over 500. ROI plus 4.30%. And the VIG is dangerous in baseball. My average line is minus 112, which is, you're only up 17.99 units when you're 42 games over 500. But it's working. Shout out to everybody joining us. Great to see all of you guys. Raymond Reddington in the house. Play today. New York Mets, Cincinnati. No run first inning, minus 111. I love it. Raymond Reddington, you've been hot this week. There's Sammy Culmer in the house. An 8-teamer last night. Great work. I had a boy, Sammy, and his play today is White Sox minus 1.5 with Lance Lynn on the bump. I took a long look at it. Maybe it ends up on my card at this point. I've made 3 bets. I like them all very much. And there's some other spots that I want to attack, and maybe that ends up on the card. There's Brian Watson in the house, over 3.5 Phillies, or over 3.5 Pirates. Phillies bullpen spent. That's a very, very interesting look, Brian. Very, very interesting look. Real Deal Prime says, wow, Dodgers are pissed. This tells the league. Laugh at this. Huge moves, and the Yankees and the Dodgers doing what the Yankees and Dodgers do, and it's I find it fun. I find it very, 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 very fun. All right, Die Hard MMA podcast. We got our man Clint in the house. There is TC. There's Luke Murphy. Says today, told myself I would stay away from the card yesterday because I didn't like it, but I didn't end up losing bad. Bounce back today. Time to roll up the sleeves and get serious. Yeah, stick with us. We're winning day in and day out, working together like a team. Professor Chris in the house. There's Razor Sharp Picks. What a gorgeous bet that was. And Razor Sharp Picks says he's locked and loaded and ready for today. By the way, as soon as the day is over, I'm taking the family up to Woodbine for the horse races today. It'll be my son's first time at the horse track, and I'm very, very excited. If anybody's got looks at Woodbine that they want to share to put food in my family's mouth, I will be happy to hear your looks there. There's R in the house. Says tough MLB cards. Throws money line maybe under an Oakland game. I like this card. I like this card a lot. Gerardo Hernandez. Jared JB says rip Cubs. There's Matty Ice. Star the taint play of the day. And the taint play of the day coming off an easy winner. There's AB in the house. Jeff Shahadi ready to get to work. Says, wish Low Shack was here to give me a birthday pick. Happy birthday, Jeff. Happy birthday to Jeff Shahadi. Much love to you. I hope the sun is shining where you are. I expect it is. It's a beautiful day around North America today. Much love to you, Jeff Shahadi. There's Nut Flush Allen, our resident San Francisco Giants expert. Tyrone Coleman in the house. Eric Jones, Puzzler. What a great group. Great group. And it is time to get to work. Michael Overland says, I got crushed yesterday, all with 2 outs to kill me. Yeah, I guess it was the Reds' first 5. I do think that Reds' first 5 doesn't quite make sense when we break down the bullpens over the last 30 days. And we know that there's an advantage with the Reds' bullpen over the Cubs' bullpen. But look, it's a battle, and it's easy to say shit after it happens. Matty Ice says Kanye hits over a half at -160. It's a prop play of the day. Juicy, but it's money. All right, we got lots of work to do. Life of Von Polo just woke up, ready to get to work. There is Rob Garvey, J Rock, and Matty Ice. Taint play of the day is in. Yankees full game run line at +105. Love Brewers game first 5 and full game under as well. Well, that works for me. I'm already on the Yankees first 5. I still have some trepidation with their bullpen. I'm on the Yankees first 5 -1/2 -120, and I'm already on the Brewers full game under, and I've decided not to double up in almost any spots anymore for the rest of the year. There's no need. We've had great success. I felt like in the past when I would double up and triple up and quadruple up that it was just me reaching because I wasn't having success. So I was reaching, and when you're winning, you see things clear, and you don't need to take giant risks. And so I'm going to try not to double up on any spots, although that is a really nice one to double up. Although, if you look at Corbin Burns' very small sample size, he has been hit very hard by the Braves, but we'll go over all that. All right, Taint play of the day is in. It is the New York Yankees. Taint getting hot, and that's no surprise to us who've run with Tate for many, many moons. All right, Taint play of the day is in. Their stats 45-2 one night with Yankees losing by 2 touchdowns. Right back on them today. First 5 with new additions and doubling up on the Jays. First 5 in full game. They will be jacked. Energy from the crowd. God, Slatsy, they didn't get out of Boston until very late. They haven't been in Toronto in a long time. So I imagine they're just at the hotel there at the stadium. I don't know. I feel quite uncomfortable about the spot. Clint says, a family day at the track is magical. Enjoy that, Jimmy. Yes, it's just that Carter's been having a tough time in cars, screaming and crying in cars. And, I want to be calm. I don't want to lose my shit. And I want to get to the racetrack. So I pray that he can. I hope he's napping as we speak. All right, there's Mark Schillingberg in the house. Turnsy says, can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Jays today at home. Luke Murphy saying, staying off Jays game. I can tell you what I am doing. And maybe this leaving, but there's no way I'm betting on the Jays. It's Royals or no bet for me. I just think this is. So that game took forever last night. Then you know what it takes right now with COVID and with getting across the border. And when do you think they got in to their hotel? 3:30 in the morning? And look, I'm not saying that that's going to hurt them that bad, but it's a situation I don't want. There's Dav Fenn saying, Scooball's given up 3 total runs in first 5 of last 7 starts. I'm on the Tigers. I like it. Danny A's on Red Sox. All right, let's get to work. And quick review of yesterday. We did mine already, 2-1 plus a unit, less than a half a unit away. Actually, less than a quarter unit away from our high water mark of the season. Taint cashed, a Dirty K lost, and Sharpie, makes 3 prop bets yesterday, and the only one to lose is Dirty K, and he's angry. And he still has a great record, 40-29, 58%, but he's going to be on the show. He's not going down without a throat stabbing or a foot stomping. So he's He's ready to rock on the show today. Rusty Kuntz, now 12-7, hitting at 63.2%, and that correlated with my action. And the Say Hey play today was a loser and irritating. I wanted it to cash for our guy. Okay, let's get to work right now. And thank you guys so much for joining us here on Pub Sports Radio. And shout out to all of my colleagues on Pub Sports Radio and all of the viewers that make this possible for all of us. We all love working here. We all love everything that's going on at Pub Sports Radio, and we have plans for a giant meetup in early November in Las Vegas. We're trying to just kind of cross the T's, dot the I's, make sure that's locked down, and just very, very thankful. There's Mama Nut Flush. Yes, the family is doing well. I hope your sweet family is doing well as well. Our favorite family in capping is the Nut Flush family. All right, let's get to work. We start at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Cubs 50-54, 19-33 on the road at Washington Nationals, 47-55, 27-25 at home. We're at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. 83 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour in. We do not know, at least as of half an hour ago, who is pitching for the Nationals, and we still don't. But what we do know is both of these bullpens are absolute garbage right now. Cubs bullpen 5.59 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. Nats bullpen 6.21 ERA, 1.57 WHIP. Cubs bullpens converted 4 of 7. Nats bullpens converted 4 of 12. The Nats are smashing righties, 270, 765 OPS. Now that will probably suffer a little bit with Trey Turner not in the lineup. Trevor Williams, though, very hittable, but he's coming off an excellent start, but it was at home versus the Diamondbacks. How will he look on the road? But the wind is not doing us favors if we want to take the over. 83 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour in. Baseball data we'll look at against Trevor Williams, but there's not too much to go on right now. Other than you want to fade these bullpens, but the wind is not our friend in this game. Against Trevor Williams, they're hitting 176, 694 OPS, and I guess it's enough for me to stay off of this spot. Okay, we got a couple things here coming in right now. We have Brian Watson, 68 years young today. I love it. My buddy sent me a call girl tonight. You deserve it. You deserve it. Brian Watson, happy birthday to Brian Watson. So we have a couple birthdays here today, which is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So let's get these birthdays here copied and pasted to make sure that they're getting the love that they deserve. Jeff Shahadi and Brian Watson, two low baggers we love dearly, both celebrating their birthdays. What a great day to celebrate your birthday. 68 years young. All right. Great stuff. Happy birthday, you guys. Christopher Comatini says, how can we bet either team? You know, I don't know what Trevor Williams is going to do. I don't really trust him. And the wind's blowing in. But when you have bullpens that are this atrocious, you can just bet overs. And we were doing that with the Royals-Orioles series. And we did that on the Thursday in cash. We did it on the Friday in cash. And then Saturday, I took the day off and it didn't cash. That was about 2 weeks ago. And we were doing that almost solely on the idea that their bullpens were so awful that we could just fade it. There's Isaiah Bolton, his girl's birthday. Let's wish her a happy 25th this back. Isaiah Bolton, happy birthday to your girl. Respect and much love, my friend. We got 3 birthdays on today's card. That's a good vibe. Good vibe on this show. There's been a good vibe on this show a lot lately because we've been winning. That helps. It helps a great deal. All right, Ron Crawford, top 3 spreadsheet plays from our man Ron Crawford. Phillies, Minnesota, and Yankees. And I'm on the Minnesota Twins first 5. I'm on the Minnesota Twins first 5. And Vital says Lester will come in with a FIP of 5.42, but can you believe in the lineup the Cubs come out with? Interesting. I did not know that. Let's get Ron Crawford's top 3 plays here. So Phillies, Twins, Yankees. There's a schnizzle in the house. Is glad I could stick around for the whole show yesterday. Went 4-0-1. And going to ride with my guy today on the Angels. Razor Sharp Picks is on the Angels. All right, I got to copy and paste this on the Angels. Very, very interesting look from our Razor Sharp Picks, the LA Angels. And Patrick Sandoval. Bassett's not being good on the road. Very interesting look. Sandoval coming off an 8 2/3 masterpiece with 13 Ks at the Twins. All right. Okay. I don't get it, Turns. Jose, tell Jimmy if he doesn't see it, I won't be in the chat anymore. Come on. Oh, got to drive to London. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Turns. I get it. You're driving to London. Okay. And Nasty Nate says, if it were my birthday, I wouldn't say anything until Pete's on. Whoa, Nasty Nate. Jesus. Look, I'm not going to give out a birthday pick, but we can't celebrate people's birthdays. Jesus.
Jimmy, I think our man Turnsy's talking about the Rusty Kuntz.
There it is. Rusty Kuntz play today. Chicago White Sox team total over 2.5. How did I miss that? There it is. Turnsy there. Rusty Kuntz play today. Chicago White Sox team total over 2.5 first 5. I put 2 to 3 units on all these plays. This is a 3-unit play for me. Ooh-wee. Okay, we're going to copy and paste that. That's the Lance Lynn spot. So Turnsy obviously expecting the White Sox to get back to their ways against right-handed batters. All right, let's pop this in. All right, let's get to work then. That's game 1. If Lester's in, I'm going to go over it much more. But at this point, Doug Reed says, I hear a mustache. Yes, that was the sound of a powerful, manly mustache. Cubbies, Nationals, no move for me at this point, but I'll be very interested if it is Lester. All right, let's move on to Phillies at Pittsburgh Pirates, 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The Phillies are 51-51, 20-30 on the road at the Pirates, 38-64, 21-29 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 75 Fahrenheit, clear, 9 miles per hour out to right. Vince Velasquez on the bump, and there is Oz B in the house. Vince Velasquez, 3-5, 5.54 ERA, 1.43 WHIP, 79 2/3, 84 Ks, 44 walks, 17 home runs. Now, obviously, this, as you guys know, Vince Velasquez has had my number over the years, but I don't trust him at all. And I'm fading LeBlanc today. I'm fading him. There's a few of these pitchers, and we mentioned it throughout the week, that I don't trust at all, and I want to attack when they're ERAs and win-loss record is good. Now, Velasquez is being destroyed, but there was a point this year where he had like a 2.85 ERA, and I was like, he's clearly not as good as his numbers indicate. We have to attack him now because soon you're going to see that 5.5 ERA. His last start was awful. It was at the Braves, 2 1/3, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 15-3 loss at the Braves. We've seen Velasquez get right against weak-hitting teams, and the Pirates are now a weak hitting team. They were hitting righties pretty hard there for a little bit, but now over the last 30 days, they're hitting 247 with a 726 OPS. Vitalis says LeBlanc coming in with a FIP of 5.01. Left-handed batters hit 288, right-handers 309, but do full game because the Twins at home have a first 5 stat of 17.29 for a loss of minus 1289. Creo, I check the market movement or the cash flow. Let me know because I will let you know. Also, I really only want to publicize Pub Sports Radio. It's really the only thing I really want to publicize. So I'd prefer, if you wanted that information to hit me on a DM on Twitter, because really that's all I care about is Pub Sports Radio growing, and you guys are a big part of all that. Okay, so I hear what you're saying, Vitalis, but I have been capping every game as an individual entity. And from an individual entity standpoint, I want the Twins first 5, and I don't care what their record is in first 5s. I want Berrios on the mound for 5 innings. I want nothing to do with the Twins bullpen. I don't want a 9-inning game against the Cardinals because I think the Cardinals are a better team. But I hear what you're saying, and look, there's nothing wrong with following streaks and running with streaks. It's just that's something that I've stayed away with and found success doing it. Okay, so let's go a little more here. Velasquez got right at home against the Marlins. Is he going to get right on the road against the Pirates in a hitter's ballpark? It is 9 miles per hour out to right. Will Crowe on the other bump, 2-5, 5.89 ERA, 1.57 WHIP, 65 2/3, 62 Ks, 31 walks, 15 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 9 Ks in a 10-2 win at the Giants. He's a pitcher that I don't know what to do with. He's not like a Chad Kuhl who has spectacular numbers at home. Will Crowe's numbers at home are terrible. They're absolutely terrible. So what do you take of that from that great start? It was a wild situation where he went up against Gaussman, and the Giants were huge favorites at home, and he pitched very well. Do you expect him to pitch well here? The Phillies over the last 30 days are hitting 246 with a 790 OPS. 246 with 790 OPS versus righties. And then Puzzler saying Pittsburgh outscored 36-4 over the last 3 games. And CT Bay's making a very, very important point, saying Berrios might get traded, so be mindful of action first listed. Yes, click on listed pitchers must start, because we also want LeBlanc in there as well. So Phillies bullpen bad over the last 30 days. 4.71 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, but have converted 5 of 7. The Pirates bullpen 5.61 ERA, 1.72 WHIP, have converted 4 of 7. Let's go over the baseball data with these two guys. Against Vince Velasquez, they're hitting 235 with a 748 OPS, small sample size, 4 for 17. And the Phillies haven't seen Crowe. And Jose saying, I'd be pretty surprised if Berrios makes a start. I was surprised he was listed as the starter. He will be in Boston by tomorrow, says Jose. The trade deadline, again, is at 4 p.m., and I believe that's 4 p.m. Eastern. So I do not know what to do with these bad baseball teams. Now, the Phillies aren't nearly as bad as the Pirates, but they're not to be trusted. Doug Reed says Philly on high from that comeback win yesterday. Let's take a look at where the market stands here. We're going to go to full game, money lines, and totals. And here we go. The Phillies open up at minus 130. They're still at minus 130. This total at 9 at minus 106. And it's been a 1 cent move to the under. One thing that we have seen is that sharps are backing some of these teams that we think have given up. And I don't want that to scare me off, these teams that have given up. But here we have 70% of the money line tickets and just 59% of the cash on the Phillies. So this reminds me a little bit of the Cubs-Reds game, not yesterday, but the day before. When the show ended, and I'd been talking, I was going to take the Reds full game. I expect to take the Reds full game. When the show finished, there was 54% of the money line cash on the Cubs. And I thought, God, that's got to be all sharp action, not just contrarian action. And then I knew the public was going to come in and hammer the Reds. That's what they did. By the time first pitch happened, it was like 80%. There's 78% to 22% of money line cash on the Reds. And this could be a similar situation. And, this whole game makes me feel pretty uncomfortable. And Ski saying, do the Yanks have unlimited money? How do they get everybody? What about the Dodgers, Ski? What about the Dodgers? Doug Reed said Pittsburgh pissed, 12-0 loss there. Nut Flush On says, please keep an eye on these games in extreme heat. I've been tracking it. Some of these guys that obviously need a lot of sticky stuff in the heat. That's why you're seeing crazy runs. Okay, so I don't want to leave money on the table. I guess I have a slight lean to the under, but I just can't trust Velasquez. Also, take note that this game is juiced to the over at every book other than Pinnacle. So the other books will follow suit, and I think money will come in on the under. And I don't want – the last thing I want to do is have an under and need to trust these two bullpens. The last thing I want to do is have a first 5 under and need to trust Vince Velasquez. So I have to begrudgingly stay off this game. And I don't hate the Pirates' first 5, but Will Crowe has bad numbers at home. So Lance LaRose says solid under. Phillies coming off a double dip. They got to be exhausted, don't they? They put up 11 runs in the second half of the double dip. But their bullpen's beaten up. So the only thing I could see is a first 5 under But God, I just don't want to be. I don't want to have that action tonight and look at who's on the mound. R says good pass game. So I'm going to put a couple question marks by the first 5 under. And why don't we just do our due diligence and look at what that total is right now? I expect it's going to be a 5. This was not part of the plan going in. And we have a 4.5 just to the over. There are 5s on the board. Heritage is moved to 5. UA just moved to 5. Okay. Danny A says this is a stay away game. Okay, let's move on to 7:07 p.m. Eastern. A lot of cappers up north want to talk about this spot. Kansas City Royals 45-56, 17-31 on the road, playing good baseball at the Toronto Blue Jays 51-48, 22-22 at home. The Royals are raking against lefties right now, smashing them. Against righties, it's the opposite. The last 30 days, a 236 batting average, 674 OPS. Astute Chaos says, why not the over? Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I can't wait. Razor Sharp Pick says, I already do a Westbrook jersey. I can't wait to hear Ski's analysis on the Westbrook pickup. I'm so excited about it. Why not an over? It's simple. The Pirates are not hitting anybody, and the Phillies are coming off a double dip. So, yeah, the bullpen's tired, but so are the batters. And Will Crow coming off a really strong performance. Okay, so Matty Ice says, I will never back Stripling. For me, this is not about what we saw from Daniel Lynch in that last start when he was spectacular. 6-1 win at home versus Detroit. Detroit is destroying lefties, and he goes 8 innings, allows 5 hits, no walks, no earned runs, strikes out 4. This is not about Stripling either. This is just about travel. Bullshit travel. When do you think the Jays got finished with that win over the Red Sox? It was a really long game. And then they have to get through the border with all the COVID issues and the bullshit at the airport. It's and then where I guess they're all going to stay at the hotel there at the stadium hotel, I guess, because no one's been here in a long time. It makes me very uncomfortable. Sammy Calmer says Royals first 3 plus a half at -105 might be a good look. Doug Reed says either Jays come out like gangbusters or KC keeps them in the game with recent form. Rodney Barton says, is this the first game back in Toronto? The over's 5-1-1 last 7 meetings in Toronto. And Tersey says everyone's going to be on Toronto. Astute Chaos like in the over in KC Toronto. Doug Reed says KC might have a COVID headache. Look, these guys are used to that sort of travel. What they don't like is the wait at the border. And when do you think Toronto got out of Boston? Ski says, talk me off the cliff, Jimmy. Please tell me it will be okay with Russ. God, I want to talk about it so badly, Ski. I think from an intangible standpoint and from a team player standpoint, we saw an enormous growth from Westbrook this year with Washington. Clearly, he's going to listen to LeBron. The problem is when there's 2 minutes left in the game, what do you do with him? Is he on the floor? Is he even on the floor? He can't hit that outside shot. It just adds a very exciting element. But it also means you guys aren't getting Kyle Lowry, which I was hoping you would get. Okay, so Stripling, 3-6, 4.84 ERA, 1.29 whip, 80 innings, 84 Ks, 25 walks, 18 home runs. Last start, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, no walks, 6 Ks, and the 5-4 loss at the Mets. He pitched very well. But he has not been pitching very well. The Blue Jays versus lefties last 30 days, 263, 811 OPS. The Royals bullpen, as well as the Royals have been playing, the bullpen last 30 days have been terrible. 6 ERA, 1.32 whip. The whip is okay, but they're getting barreled. Blue Jays bullpen, 4.83 ERA, 1.40 whip. So another question we have for those of you thinking about the over is twofold. It's cold tonight in Toronto. So it goes down to 65 Fahrenheit for first pitch. Is the roof going to be open? Probably not. I guess I would expect the roof to be closed. And now the ball doesn't travel as well, but I guess you want the roof to be closed because it's 14 mile per hour in are the winds. There's so many moving parts in this baseball game. And when there's that many moving parts, I get extremely uncomfortable. Let's go to where the market stands on this spot. The first 5 totals at 5.5. It has now gone to 6. I've got every window closed in the apartment, but you can still hear the nonstop ambulances in Parkdale. Okay, so let's move over to baseball data here. The Jays haven't seen Daniel Lynch. Against Stripling, he's had the number of the Royals. Are 3 for 30 with 3 singles, but do you trust that? Viper says Toronto 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games when playing at home against Kansas. And Puzzler says roof open. Fireworks in TO. Okay, that's huge. Roof open for sure. Okay, so the roof is open, and you have 14-mile-per-hour winds coming in off the lake. And Maxwell Smart in the house. And there's Robert Cherry. And it says, I seen Razors first glance, and I'm on it. Angels money line. It says, yesterday's first glance with the Rays was so accurate, I can't cross the grain. I get it. Okay. And Doug Reed says, only 17 Celsius now. Yeah, look, I'm going to be outdoors. I'll be at Woodbine. Okay, so let's go to where the cash lies here. And the more I talk about this game, the more uncomfortable I get. Here we go. Cash flow in the Jays game. 3,858 tickets in. 71% of the tickets on the Jays. 90% of cash. 71% of tickets. 90% of cash. Okay, well then. So then the Jays have gone from minus 192 to minus 211. So that all makes sense. The first 5 has gone from 5.5 to 6, but the full game at under 10.5 at minus 112 hasn't moved, which is interesting. Let's take a look at the totals here. And we have 40% of the tickets on the under and 38% of the cash on the under. So Professor Chris says Jays flat spot, first home game off a road trip. Yeah, there's big show picks in the house. Yeah, I think this is a Jays flat spot. Nick Camel says Daniel Lynch pitched 8 shutouts innings last time out against the Tigers. Do you trust that? There's so much I don't trust. And if you want to fade the Jays, wait, because money's just going to keep pouring in on the Jays. I don't want them, and I don't want the Royals bullpen. So and then look at Stripling's numbers against the Royals. This is a complete stay off spot for me. I have made 3 bets. We are less than a quarter of a unit away from our season high in MLB, and there's no need to reach. Sabino Anguano in the house. Great to see you, my man. Mike M says a public slamming Toronto and all the money. Lynch coming off a deep game. Give me KC. And Nufflashan said this is smelling like a KC first 5. That's what if I was given a free play, I would be looking very closely at that. But then the numbers don't correlate with the way Stripling gets these guys out. So, all right. Astute Care says I don't trust the pitchers. That's why I like the over. But great point too. Yeah, I get it in the Phillies Pirates game. I feel you. Okay, so we've gone through 3 games right now, and I've made no additions to my card, but I legitimately have a little bit of interest in that first 5 under 5 in Phillies Pirates if it gets to 5, but I don't want Velasquez anything to do with my money. All right, let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles. No, TJ. Tuesday is just low shack in the bag. Tuesday is low shack in the bag. So betting with the bag Wednesday, Friday, low shack in the bag Tuesday. Okay. Sabino Anguano says my favorite dog today, easily the Reds. Carrasco hasn't pitched in months. And Carrasco's only going to go 4 or 5. I can't wait to talk about that game. Dommy Gunn's going to be live at that game. All right. Let's keep rolling. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Baltimore Orioles, 35-66, 18-35 on the road at Detroit Tigers, 15-55, 29-22 at home. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan, 72 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour, sideways out to the right field pole. Matt Harvey and Tariq Skubal. What the hell do you do with Matt Harvey? So in the beginning of the year, I think, Ski was asking, what are the biggest differences from your success this year and not having success in years past in MLB over the course of a full season? One thing was that I would trust my gut in MLB. I've stopped doing that. So before, every time Matt Harvey would pitch, I would fade him. I have not done that at all this year. And look, he's 5-10. obviously, I think I faded him once or twice earlier in the year. But obviously, if I'd been doing it all the time, it would work. But he's now throwing back-to-back starts of 6 innings where he hasn't allowed a run. Last was a win at home versus the Nationals, 6 innings, 1 hit, no walks. 6.65 ERA, 1.58 whip. The public sees those numbers, and they fade him. Going up against Tariq Skubal, whom you know I love, 6-9, 4.42 ERA, 1.31 whip, 99 2/3, 113 Ks, 38 walks, 22 homers. Last start, he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 homers, 0 walks, 4 Ks, and a 6-1 loss to the Royals. The Royals are smashing lefties. In the beginning of the year, the Orioles were smashing lefties. No longer. In the last 30 days, they're hitting 249 with a 724 OPS, while the Tigers versus righties are hitting 262 with a 789 OPS over their last 30. Here you ski. Soupy Panty says, when I hear Orioles, I picture my huge mic. Okay, Soupy. Viper says the total has gone under in 7 of Baltimore's last 9 games when playing Detroit. Okay. Nick's Camel says, I always bet against Harvey. Screwed me the last 2 times. Jared Schrader looking at a Baltimore team total over 4 and Viper NB is passing in this spot. Henry Dice says under game but pass. So Tigers bullpen over the last 30 days been bad. 5.11 ERA, 1.38 whip, have converted 7 of 11. Orioles bullpen over the last 30 days, 4.45 ERA, 1.34 whip, have converted 2 of 4. So let's move over to the baseball data with these 2 pitchers. Against Harvey, the Tigers are hitting 462 with a 1.500 OPS. They're 6 for 13 with a double and 2 homers. And only Maikel Franco has seen Tariq Skubal. So let's move over to the market that we're dealing with here. We have Detroit opening up at minus 131. They're now minus 152 at Pinnacle, a 21-cent move at Pinnacle. And this total opened up at 10 and it's dropped all the way to 9. Thank you very much, Puzzler. There's our guy, Guillermo Zertucci, in the house. A full run. It drops a full run. Wild. So let's see where the cash lies in this spot. Detroit, Baltimore, 3,417 tickets in, 80% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on the Tigers. Market moving towards them. Makes total sense. 70% of the tickets on the over and 54% of the cash on the over. And that becomes confusing because I don't know from Sports Insights whether that came in at 10 or at 9.5 or at 9. So because I don't know that, what am I supposed to do? Robert Cherry says, I faded Harvey since the Tommy John surgery. Honestly, he was too cocky and never allowed himself to heal and back it up. Auto fade, guys. Well, if you faded him the last 2 days, the risk reward was minimal and you lost. Uncool's taking Trey Mancini plus 300 for a homer. Steve Priest says Screwball 5 home runs last 3. Yeah, because he allowed 3 in the last game. I completely understand why the money is on the Tigers, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. There's something about Matt Harvey trying to have a career. TJ says, what was the total move on the first 5? Good question, because we saw the big move on the full game, a full run from 10 to 9. Let's see what it is on first 5, TJ. We have first 5, Baltimore, Detroit, a half run, and you're getting plus 101 on the under 5 or plus 100, but there's still a 5.5 at you wager, so not much there, which is interesting because you would think that drop from 10 to 9 would be predicated on good starts from these guys, not from the bullpen. Steve Priest says we'll roll with the Orioles Tigers over 9. Puzzler took Scope over 1.5 total bases at plus 100. Nick Camel says Screwball is good, but he's shaky at times. And R says first 5 under, decent but pass. And Bobby Guerrero says no run first inning Detroit game. You know, I guess Bobby Guerrero, looking at the whole game and the stats, I would say that makes sense. But I'm not going to move on it. And Matty I says I like the A's tonight, guys. Team momentum and mentally means something. Love that Marte trade. Don't sleep on them. Rodney Barton says, I'm liking the Tigers on the run line again. I get it. If you're catching with them with the way they're playing, they're now 50 and 55 and 29 and 22 at home. I get it. I completely get it. But there's been a huge move in the market, and I don't chase these spots. I haven't all year. Minus 155 right now when you could have got minus 130 or minus 135 last night. Okay, so there's 4 games up and no additions to my card at this point. We move to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Boston Red Sox, 63-41, 30-19 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, 61-42, 31-20 at home. Those of us who are wondering why the Blue Jays weren't going to make any moves, obviously the Blue Jays brass knew that the Rays and the Yankees and the Red Sox were going to make major moves. And we had a team that hasn't had a home field all year. Wait till next season. I see Priestess have to roll best bet. Brewers, Braves, first 5 under 4.5. I love that because I'm on the full game. I'll copy and paste that right now and make sure that that's here. Thank you for sharing that with us, Steve, my man. All right. Matty Ice says Red Sox team total over 3.5 at minus 140. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Martin Perez going up against Josh Fleming. We have also, here we go. Oh, so Sharpie, okay. Sharpie switching. Okay. Thank you, Sharpie. I've got that note now. We are now switching over to Jose's Say Hey play of the day. Our man, Jose, coming off a heartbreaker yesterday. And I would laugh out loud if it didn't cost me money too. I had the first 5 under 3.5 and a 2-run home run with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th, cost us both. So I'm not going to laugh. It's not funny. I want him to succeed. Why don't we open up on his mustache and see how this bangs out? Please welcome to the show, Jose started to Say Hey play of the day. Stash looking strong, vibrant, healthy, shining.
Jimmy, yesterday was tough. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was the lowest I've felt all season. That one was a swift kick in the dick. And I got some more. I got some more swift kicks in the dick later on in the night. But we can discuss those later, I guess.
That sounds sort of arousing. Was it your girl?
No, Helga did not give me those kick in the nuts. But you know, maybe we can incorporate that tonight. Who knows?
Is she interested in those sorts of things?
I don't know if she's interested in these things, but maybe I am now. I don't know. Now you've piqued my interest. Maybe I'll. If I lose tonight, maybe I'll do it just to feel something again. Who knows?
Please record it. It. We have Jose here for the Say Hey play of the day. Now, we've been doing a lot of yelling in his face, and it worked at first. But now I see a broken man. He found this hat outside under a car. He put it on. He won't let his girlfriend hoof him in the nuts. I mean, this guy is struggling right now. So why don't we start off? I think everybody in the chat, let's all do this. Let's all do this together. Let's all say something nice, something positive about Jose. Let's get him feeling good about himself. Get him out of this. I'll start. Okay. Here. Your tits aren't that sloppy.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone's now, by the way, I've said that my girlfriend's name is Helga, and then it's, oh, look there now. I've loved by many. Thanks, Real Deal. I appreciate that. And CT Bay saying I can do it. I appreciate that. Copycat, do more drugs. Yes. That's always a good recommendation.
Oh, Soupy Panties. Let us talk to you.
Thank you, Soupy. I appreciate that. Awesome.
This is working.
Great hair day. Great hair day. Thank you. As I pop off my lid and I realize how much hair I have again.
This is working. See this?
Yes. Thank you. This is awesome. Your ears are small. Yes. This is great. I'm feeling great now. I'm glad. I forgot that my hair is just on fire recently. So this is awesome.
This is working.
The stash is lovely, of course. Jimmy, by the way, I got 2 more compliments on it.
Oh, well, good, because you won't have a job if you shave it.
Well, it's just 1 more month.
Oh, House Party 3, Billy Pilgrim, finally. See, I can't even give Kid and Play references to Jose. He doesn't know who Kid and Play are.
Zero idea who that is. Is that a band or an artist?
Oh,
or
God.
A person?
Oh, God.
Is that a movie?
You know who Kid and Play is?
Zero fucking idea. Right. Absolutely no idea.
Okay, so we've made him feel a little better about his nonstop losing on this show, sitting at 20-24. I don't even want to bring up your record, Jose. I don't want to do it because it makes me sick to my stomach. Before I read it out, let me start by going like this. You are 20-24. You're down 4.3 units. Your ROI is minus 9.77%. Are you going to get your shit together and close the weekend out with a winner or not?
Yes.
You've picked the Red Sox Rays game. Martin Perez going up against Josh Fleming. Perez is a tricky pitcher to figure out. He's somebody that you believe in, and I don't. 7-6, 4.18 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. In his last start, he went 6 hits, allowed 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a 5-4 win at home versus the Yankees. If you go down his last 4 or 5 starts, that's what you see. You see 3 earned runs, close or quality starts. Fleming, 7-5, 4.07 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. His last start was ugly. It was a 10-5 win at the Indians, but he got touched for 3 earned runs in 4 innings. The Red Sox versus lefties last 30 days, good, 243, 751 OPS. The Rays continue to struggle for lefties last 30 days, 223, 682 OPS. Both bullpens have been very good over the last 30 days. Jose, how are you getting paid today?
I think I'm about to shock a lot of people. I'm about to surprise people, and I'm going to pick the Rays today, Jimmy. I'm picking the Rays first 5 team total over 2.5. Right now we're sitting at even money. I think Martin Perez can get touched up a little bit tonight. 3 does not seem like a lot of runs. Even money is a great price to pay. It just that's the one that really jumped out at me. Oh, and right now I'm looking at Pinnacle. It's a plus 105, so we're getting even better odds. So I just think, Tampa Bay's hot bats. They showed something last night. Martin Perez not the best pitcher. The Red Sox had a kind of a stinker last night. This is normally one of those spots where I think the Red Sox would win the game, and I maybe I'm a homer. I do think they will win this game, but I think Martin Perez can easily give up 3 runs, no problem. So that's an easy 3 runs from a Tampa Bay Rays team that just had a great offensive outing at home. It just makes sense.
Very, very interesting look here. I know the bats are stronger. Is Nelson Cruz expected to be in the lineup?
I would assume so, right? He was not in last night. And plus, we know how important these games are. Rays Red Sox is the series, is the only race really in the whole American League. All the other American League races are settled up. You want to fight about the second wild card game, sure, but this is a real race. This teams will go back and forth. We expect both these teams to make trades at the deadline, and if we don't, I'll riot. So it's all right.
Martin Perez against these Rays, 240 average, 728 OPS. Nelson Cruz gets to him, 9 for 30 with a double and 3 home runs. Zunino, 7 for 24 with 3 home runs. Against Fleming, 417 with a 1.417 OPS, but very small sample size, 5 for 12. There's Stu Boo in the house.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nelson Cruz hit a home run today. So, like I said in the chat earlier, MLB closing time tonight, or today, I guess I should say, is 3 to 4, I believe. I mix my time zones up all the time, but we'll be going an hour before the trade deadline, through the trade deadline, getting some instant reactions. If the Red Sox don't do anything, you guys will see me melt down. If they do something, you'll see me explode in excitement. I expect Jose Barrios to come to the Red Sox, so can't wait.
I like it. There you have it. Very interesting contrarian spot. Let's take a look and see where the cash lies here. The cash in this big game in St. Petersburg. We have just 970 tickets in, so let's not take too much of it, but 50% of the tickets on the Rays, 68% of the cash, 71% of the tickets on the under, and 67% of the cash. And then we'll bring out the market move in this spot right now and then move past it because the game makes me uncomfortable. I don't trust either pitcher. The total is sitting at 9 full game with not much movement. And the money line sees the Rays open up at minus 136, now sitting at minus 134. There you have it.
A lot of roasts coming in the chat now, by the way. A lot of good ones.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been very, very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable.
My hat is by the way, Jimmy, my hat. This is my first Red Sox hat ever. I've had it for like 10 plus years. So this is in fact that old,
Wow.
and it does in fact hold all this fucking hair.
You know,
Barely.
I'm very interested in this look of yours. First 5 team total over 2.5 plus 105 from Jose. There you have it. Jose, say hey, play of the day. Thank you for rolling with us, sharing your hard work, and please find a fucking winner, please. For the love of God.
I'm looking at it. I'll remember Vitalis's words. I'm throwing out the dartboard. It's gonna hit.
He doesn't care. He just doesn't care enough. That's the problem. He doesn't care enough. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 54-49, 28-23 at New York Mets 54-47, 32-18 at home. And a very interesting spot. Citi Field in Queens, New York. 77 Fahrenheit clear, 14 miles per hour sideways in. Carlos Carrasco, who has come back from cancer. He's come back from so many incredible things. His fan base is so huge. He's missed the entire first half of the season due to a hamstring tear suffered at the end of spring training. And we know guys like Peter Loshak like to back pitchers when it isn't an arm injury that they're coming back from. He didn't get fully stretched out during his rehab start, so he will start his Mets career on a pitch count as he builds up stamina. Rojas says whether it's going to be 4 or 5 innings, that's something that we'll discuss. Sharpie says, I wanted to play Carrasco for my K prop today. One of the nastiest changeups in the game, but after digging, he's only pitched 2 times in the minors, 4 innings and 2 innings. You're right. You're absolutely right. And Michael Robinson calling it kid and play of the day. God, go back to that. Okay, I'm going to get away from kid and play in my head. Okay, so going up against Sonny Gray, what the hell are you going to get from Sonny Gray? 2-6, 4.50 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 70 innings, 89 Ks, 28 walks, 11 home runs. In his last start, he went 3 1/3, 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 homers, 1 walk, 3 Ks, in a 10-6 loss at home versus Cardinals. He has not been looking good. Now 2 starts in a row. Reds versus righties last 30 days, 255, 767 OPS. And the Mets versus righties, 243, 752 OPS. The Reds bullpen last 30 days, 4.75 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, have converted 10 of 18 save opportunities. That 18 save opportunities over the last 30 days is a league high. The Mets bullpen, 4.80 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, have converted 8 of 13 save opportunities. Oh, and look at Ragu. Ragu is in Vegas today. Shout out to our big Ragu, the legend, in Vegas today. And Vitalis saying that Starlin Castro suspended 30 days without pay. He can leave the league for all we care about him. Stu Boo says Mets at home is cash. Puzzler already took the over 8 at -105. Very interesting. I do not know what Sonny Gray is going to give us. Let's go to baseball data and see if there's any guidance here. Against the Mets, 230 with a 632 OPS. He has had their number. 14 for 61 with 1 double and 2 homers allowed. Against Carrasco, 279 with an 866 OPS. So let's see what the market has done with this spot. Here we go. Cincinnati, New York Mets. We have the total opening up at 8.5. It's now at 8. And a huge, huge market move on the New York Mets. Open up at -109, now -135. A 26-cent market move. Diehard MMA podcast says I've been riding Votto homers, but I think it might come to an end. Siobhan Town says Reds are hitting great, putting points up. Going to be a great game. I'm going Reds. Life of Von Polo is on the Mets. TJ says I love the over, but wind is blowing in hard. Anyone been there and know how much the wind actually affects the bats in that stadium? Yes, I have been there once, but Dami Gunrichi would be the man we'd ask about that. There's so much unknown in this spot. And look, I know we're going to be here. Is this a 5th or 6th game? And we haven't gone to one of the games that I've bet, and I've made no additions. But how can I possibly tell you I know what Sonny Gray and Carlos Carrasco are going to do? And I've got the wind at 14 miles per hour sideways in. So not only will that help the pitchers from a fly ball perspective, but it will also help the movement for the pitchers. It's a very tricky spot. Let's take a look and see what the cash flow is at in this game here. We have where is it here? Sorry, trying to. What the fuck? What? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Oh my God, is this not on the board? All right, for some reason it's not here. My apologies. I don't know why it's not. How could they? Oh, there it is. Sorry. 3,190 tickets in. We have 55% of the cash on the Mets, 66% of the cash on the Mets, 55% of the tickets on the Mets, and now a big market move towards them. And then here we go, 34% of the tickets on the over, 96% of the cash on the over, and yet it's dropped a half run. That makes me extremely uncomfortable. I can understand why someone has moved on the 8, but there's not enough that correlates for me to put my money on that. So no move for me. Sharpie says if Carrasco goes 5 innings, he gets 7 Ks. The plus 6.5 is a plus 138. I do not see him going 5 innings in this spot. So we move on, 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and my first spot on the board, and also the taint play of the day. New York Yankees, 53-48, 26-25 on the road. At the Miami Marlins, 44-58, 24-23 at home. We know the Yankees have been desperately seeking left-handed bats, and they got 2 beauties in Rizzo and Gallo, and they're both supposed to be in the lineup today. I moved on the Yankees first 5 minus a half at minus 120, and the taint play of the day is the Yankees full game run line at plus 105, and I get it. I completely get it. They've got momentum. They've got a belief, and taint is on it. I am on it as well. Taint running hot right now. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. The roof is expected to be closed. Jamison Taillon on the bump. He's been looking much better. 6-4, 4.36 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, 95 innings, 93 Ks, 29 walks, 16 home runs. Coming off a really nice start at the Red Sox. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 was earned. 3 walks, 4 Ks. Going up against Zach Thompson, who did not look good in his last start at home versus the Padres, but we did cash that full game under 8, and he did not look great. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 5-2 loss at home. There's Earl Sports Bet. This is a lot of moves for New York just to finish 4th in the division. CD Base says, I was thinking Yankees, but the over might be the best bet with the Yankees' leaky pen. The Yankees' leaky pen is enough for me to not take them full game, although I do trust them. I trust them better than their numbers indicate. 5.63 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. I've converted just 5 of 11. Mariners bullpen 3.18 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. I've converted 4 of 8. There's obviously some excitement in this lineup, and I expect it to carry over here. Let's see what the market has done with this spot. The New York Yankees open up at minus 149. They're now minus 160. And this total has dropped from 8.5 to 7.5. A very low total, but the roof is closed. Interesting. I moved on the Yankees first 5 minus a half at minus 120. I did think about the first 4.5 minus half and minus 135, but if I'm confident in the bet, why would I need the 5 at-bats to the 4 at-bats? It doesn't make any sense to me. And the first 5's gone from 4.5 to 4, and there's not been a ton of movement. And in fact, if I come over here to the live odds or to the where the cash lies, and there is not a huge amount of money. Look at this. This is dangerous now. 73% of the tickets on the Yankees, 51% of the cash. You would think that the Yankees would be much bigger favorites here. And maybe Gallo and Rizzo are both not available or something. Why would there be big bets coming in on the Marlins? Very interesting. Then we have 61% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the over. When did those bets come in, at 7.5 or at 8? Vital says Thompson FIP is 2.85 and right-handed batters hit him 186. Yankees lineup is mostly right-handed batters. Good luck. Well, they just added Rizzo and Gallo, 2 giant left-handed bats, but I hear that. Yankees team total 4.5 at plus money. I feel safer with that than Yankees run line. I don't know, TJ. Not with this market expecting a low-scoring game. Earl Sports says Yankees are overpriced today after the moves. Value is on the Marlins, but Bigger Goose says runs. Interesting spot. I'm on the Yankees first 5 minus a half and minus 120. I am backing Taillon. And I did not like what I saw from Zach Thompson in his last start against the Padres. Okay, so there we have it. Taint play of the day is the Yankees full game run line at plus 105. Let's roll on now. All right. Robert Allen says Yankees will be a wild card now with adding Rizzo and Gallo. No doubt about that. Big Show picks taking Boston plus 120, Houston plus 110, and LA Dodgers minus 190 in a round robin. And Christopher Comtine said we just saw the Yanks limp bats get shut down in Tampa. This is a different situation to me with this new blood being injected into the lineup. Okay, let's move on to another spot that I love. And look, this would be a possible double dip, but I'm only on the full game under 8.5 at minus 115. Steve Priest's best bet, he came in to drop off, was the Brewers Braves first 5 under 4.5. Milwaukee Brewers 61-42, 30-18 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 51-52, 26-25 at home. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. And we have arrived at the Dirty K prop of the day. Our Sharpie angry. Our Sharpie wanting desperately to get this losing streak finished off. He still has a great record on the year for us. 40 wins, 29 losses, hitting at 58%. And Sharpie now ready to break down this game with me. Braves Brew Crew. Mal saying, loving this first 5 under. It surprises me that people like that more than the full game because the Brewers bullpen last 30 days has been unconscious. A 2.23 ERA, 1.15 whip, and the Braves bullpen 3.42 ERA, 1.30 whip. Let's welcome to the show Sharpie's Bets in Business. Sharpie, how are you?
I've had better days, my friend. I've had better fucking days. But it's time to open these motherfuckers up, bro. From the neck to the stomach, bro. It's gut 'em time, bro. Gotta get them.
I believe in you. We all believe in you. We all trust you. We have a very interesting matchup here. It is offensive weather, although the wind has been dying down a little bit. As of yesterday, it was going to be 9 miles per hour to left. Now it's 8 miles per hour left. It's supposed to finish off at 7 or 6 miles per hour out to left. Corbin Burns going up against Touki Toussaint. And Big Roo saying, do I have the Yanks lineup yet? No, I have nothing confirmed, but they expect the 2 lefties to be in there. Corbin Burns, 6-4, 2.12 ERA, 0.90 whip, 102 innings, 146 Ks, 18 walks, 3 homers, and bad numbers in a small sample size against these Braves. His last start was excellent. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 Ks, 6-1 win at home. Going up against Touki, who has been spectacular, had the shoulder issues, started the season late, and he's been very good, coming off a great start. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 10 Ks, and a 2-1 loss to Philadelphia. Who are you focusing on for the Dirty K prop of the day?
Not Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns would have been the beginning of the year, guys, but this is Touki Toussaint, guys. Not Touki, the guy who started the Crips back in the 70s, guys, but I'm sure he's fucking related because he'd be gangbanging with them Ks. Be like doing the K-walk. Okay, this guy averages 10 Ks per 9 through his whole career. He's only been pitching since 2016. They haven't let him go more than 40 innings per. He's only at 12 innings right now, guys. We have nothing to fucking worry about. He went up against the Phillies and the Padres so far this year. They had a 20 and a 22% K rate. He got 5 and 10 versus both. We're now versus the Brewers since the All-Star breaker at a 26% K rate. That to me says 5.5 is easy fucking money, guys. It's at plus money for us. He's opened the year at the first 2 games. He was a 4.5 and a 4.5. The books haven't caught on to him yet. His whole issue through the last 4 years has been his walks. He's had a high whip, guys. This year, he's walked 2 people in 13 innings. Has he corrected it? He's shown yes. And to me, that means that he's a play on, guys, until he shows otherwise. With his strikeout ability and at that low number, it's time to get it. Gucci time.
Touki over 5.5 Ks. And what was the juice associated?
Plus 105.
Plus 105, getting a plus number on the 5.5. Let's take a look at the batter versus pitcher. Touki has faced 9 batters, 9 Brew Crew batters. Struck out 3 of them. He has allowed 1 hit, a double from Rocky Rowdy Tellez. And then we have the Brew Crew against Burns, 538, 1.923 OPS, 7 for 13 with 3 jacks. But I'm not sold on those numbers. Okay, Sharpie, Touki over 5.5 Ks. What is your – I know that you've looked at this game. We have The Brewers in the last 3 days hitting 252, 773 OPS versus righties. Braves 256, 759 OPS versus righties last 30 days. What are your expectations of Corbin Burns, and do you like my look on the full game under 8.5?
I love your look on the full game under 8.5. When I got 2 aces and Toussaint is an ace, guys. He's got ace quality stuff. I prefer the full game under because every once in a while, one of these aces can get rocked in 1 inning and they give up 3, but then they settle the fuck down. And if you have a low first inning total, you could be blown right out the water, and then the game ends 3-2 that's how the game opened up. So when I have 2 good pitchers, 2 good bullpens, that's the rare time I will actually look to play the full game under.
I love it. I love it. Great breakdown. By the way, Pinnacle has now moved this total full game to 8. I love seeing that. All the other books will join in. The Brew Crew opened up at -127. They're now at -139. I'm curious to see what movements happened with this first 5 total, because this was certainly yesteryear. It would have been a double up spot for me. And the 4.5 has already moved to 4 at almost all of the books. So I like it. I like this very, very much. Joey Harp says Brewers lineup is much better than their record. Their record's great. What do you mean? 61-42? I mean, I think their lineup it's been hitting of late. And then let's just take a quick look at the cash flow in this game. 2,446 tickets in. We have 72% of the tickets on the Brewers and 94% of the cash. That's interesting. Then 39% of the tickets on the over and 73% of the cash on the over. Very, 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 very interesting. And yeah, let's move down. Wild. All right, Sharpie, my man, where can our cappers find you on Twitter, and what other shows you got coming up?
You guys can find me at Sharpie's Bets on Twitter. I'll be on the MLB Closing Time show Saturday and Sunday morning. I was at a bar last night, guys. I went up to a BBW and was like, "You're a big whale, aren't you?" She replied with a tear in her eye, "Tell me something I don't know." And I was like, "Bitch, salad tastes nice." Have a good day, fellas.
There he is. Sharpie in the house. The Dirty K prop of the day is in. All right. Short shot, Timmy. I use Sports Insights to get that information. Kev Riley says, lunch hour just started. Thought I'd jump on the show. Cap today's games last night. 2 plays at cash. Put these 2 plays in. Minnesota first 5. I'm already on it. And Philadelphia first 5 over. Boss is calling. Be right back. I like it. I like it. Yes, Robbie on saying, got to pay for it. Short shot. Yeah, it's not cheap. It is not cheap. It's expensive, but worth it. Okay, there you. And also, what we've noticed is the numbers on Sports Insights are very different from the numbers on the free sites. Very different. And look, I'm not saying that Sports Insights is right or in the other sites are wrong or anything like that. You can take everything with a grain of salt, but they are sort of the gold standard within the industry. Okay, so I'm on the full game under 8.5 -115. This would have been a double up spot, which I did not do, and I'm not doing. We move on. 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners 55-48, 22-25 on the road at Texas Rangers, 36-66, 23-26 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. The roof is closed, and Logan Gilbert, I guess, is not pitching for the Mariners. Do we know who is? Undecided. Does anybody know who will be on the bump? I was expecting Logan Gilbert and wanted Logan Gilbert. Short shot, Timmy saying 4-day trial at $19.99. Let's get it. Yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful. And short shot, Timmy, you can go in with a couple buddies. Make it a little cheaper for you. Logan Gilbert not pitching. Colby Allard is pitching. 2-8, 4.71 ERA, 1.161. And look, I know it's pricey. I should go back to that. But, I mean, if you think look at how much we're betting. I mean, my units in baseball started the year at 125 and moved up to 150. It's not a ton, but, and my quantity of action has gone down, but there are days where I have 10 or 11 bets. And would I be really concerned if there's this thing that helps me? But I do think you should go in with friends to make it cheaper. But it's really, look at it compared to the amount of money that you're betting. Then it's not that much. Okay, but it's like anything. If we're trying to hit 53.5%, 53.6% to turn a profit. And then you have to pay for something like picks or sports insights. Then your percentage that you have to win goes up. And as long as you know that. Okay. Let's go. Mike M says action numbers fed by Sports Insights full year $100. We've had a difference in our numbers from the action numbers, Mike M. Yes, they can, Razor. I'm not sure if we're supposed to talk about that publicly, but yes, they can. Yes, they can. Okay, let's go. Colby Allard, 2-8, 4.71 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, 72 2/3, 67 Ks, 15 walks, 13 home runs. Last start, 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 7-3 loss at the Astros. And the Astros haven't been raking lefties over the last 30 days, but they got the Colby Allard. I do not trust Colby Allard. The Mariners are still not hitting lefties. They haven't hit them all year. 220 with a 697 OPS over the last 30 days. And look at the Rangers versus righties, 199 with a 619 OPS. Mariners bullpen 3.74 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, converted 9 of 12. Rangers bullpen last 30 days 4.28 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, converted 2 of 4. I love you too, Robert Allen, my guy. Okay, so let's move over to the baseball data against Colby Allard. I would love to fade Colby Allard, but I was hoping to fade Colby Allard with Logan Gilbert on the bump. Who are the Mariners going to put in? Colby Allard, 256, 908 OPS against them. They're 10 for 39, but have 4 jacks. Kyle Seager with 2 homers, Dylan Moore with a homer, and Tom Murphy with a homer against them. So let's move on to the actual. So we don't know what the market is, clearly, because we don't know who's pitching for Seattle. We have a total here at 8. Of course, it's going to be a low total because the Rangers aren't hitting anybody. Now I don't have Joey Gallo in the lineup. But I would love to know who is pitching for them because I was going to back the Mariners and Logan Gilbert. So we have to wait, figure stuff out. We are going to move on to the next game, but I do not trust Colby Allard. Vital says, why do you feel Gilbert won't be on the mound? Because there was no market. And then there was no market all last night, no market this morning. There was 2 other games that didn't have a market. They gained a market in the morning, and then Logan Gilbert has been pulled, so now it says undecided at a bunch of the different books. So Gilbert's name isn't even listed anymore. Okay, we move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Indians 50-49, 24-26 on the road at the Chicago White Sox, 60-43, 35-17 at home. We're at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. Unc Oliver in the house. What up, my guy? We get to this spot. It is the Rusty Kuntz play of the day. Chicago White Sox team total over 2.5. He's won 2 straight, and he's rolling. Oh, please give my love to Tata. Please give my love to Tata. You guys are a spectacular handicapping couple, and I love you both. Okay, 71 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour sideways. JC May has been absolutely terrible. Terrible. His last start, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and 8-2 loss at home versus the Rays. 7.52 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, 41 Ks and 40 2/3, but he's allowed 9 home runs in those 40 2/3. Not to be trusted. Turns he's staying in London next couple of days. Nice. Nice. We could talk. It's possible. Lance Lynn on the other side, 10-3, 1.91 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 103 2/3, 115 Ks, 32 walks, 10 home runs. In his last start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, no walks, 6 Ks, and 3-1 win at the Brewers. The Indians last 30 days, 221, 674 OPS versus righties. White Sox, 262, 815 OPS. Indians bullpen getting actually a little bit better. They felt completely off, but now they're starting to pitch a little better. 3.99 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, have converted 4 of 11 save opportunities, while the White Sox and Pub Sports says, Jose says, wow, Blue Jays are in lead for Barrios right now. I do not buy it. I do not believe that. White Sox bullpen 4.42 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, converted 5 of 8. Mally Mal, there's a lot of people who bet the Blue Jays before the show started. So I've heard, and there's a ton of public action on Blue Jays, and it makes me so uncomfortable. And we've already broke that game down, so I'm not going to go back into it. But extremely real deal. Look, I don't know when did they get into Toronto, where they haven't been in how long? So they haven't been here in a year and a half, 2 years. They got in last night, 3, 4 in the morning? I don't know. I'm a little uncomfortable. Robert Allen says, I auto-blind the White Sox when Lance Lynn is pitching. Look, I get that. And I'm a big Bulldog fan. But at this price and the way the offense has looked, at least the last few days, I was very uncomfortable with moving on them. They opened up at minus 197. They're now minus 210. This total opened at 8.5, minus 112 to the over. It's now minus 110, a 2-cent move to the over. Mike M says 96% of 96% of the cash on the White Sox. And yes, and the line hasn't moved. We also have 52% of the tickets on the over and 96% of the cash on the over. It's disconcerting. It's hard to trust here. Let's go to baseball data. White Sox haven't seen Maya against Lynn, 113 with a 488 OPS. They're 6 for 53 against him. I mean, he's a monster. So this was the same situation I came into yesterday, except yesterday there was some clear contrarian or sharp action on the other side. So let's go to the first 5 and see what we'd have to do. So let me just pull up that 365 to see exactly how I'd have to do this. Because you can't take it minus a half. You'd have to take them alternative line here. First 5 minus a half is minus 160. And then first 5 minus 1.5 plus 115. Like I don't know how to bet it. Vitalis says just throw out yesterday's White Sox lineup. Lewis has had a bunch of starters for rest. Robert says May is going down. The White Sox bats don't stay quiet for very long. Christopher Comatini wondering if those guys are back. Eric Jones, White Sox first 5, but again, at what price? And these White Sox haven't seen Maya, and they've been costing people money. Look, I'm probably leaving money on the table here. And the bet is probably to take it at minus 160 because if I put in the minus 1 calculator, minus 160, and then plus 115, I'm only getting a minus 121, and then they have to win by 2 runs. I don't know. Here is the minus 1 calculator if anybody wants it there. Puzzler said, I took the White Sox minus 1.5 last night. Less sure now. Look, I completely get it. Mayes looked absolutely terrible. And you probably got a plus line. Real Deal Prime says pass. Maybe that's just the play to... What would it be if it was minus 1? If it was minus 1, I should have bet it last night. But let's just take a quick look at what it is. If I wanted it minus 1, it's minus 230, minus 115. It's just so expensive. Ugh. All right. I'm going to stay off of it. All right. We move on to 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Next up here, Minnesota Twins at St. Louis Cardinals. And I'm on Barrios first 5. Listed pitchers must start. You have to click that. But if I do not trust Wade LeBlanc, and in fact, I don't trust the Twins bullpen at all either. But I want to fade Wade LeBlanc before his ERA gets to 5.5 because it's going to. His ERA right now, 3.45 ERA, 1.50 whip. He's already allowed 5 home runs in 28 2/3. I do not trust Wade LeBlanc at all. Barrios coming off a very strong start. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 4 Ks, no walks, and 2-1 loss at home versus the Angels. The Twins aren't hitting. Their last 30 days versus lefties, 223, 693 OPS. That does not concern me. I think they can get to Wade LeBlanc, and I think this price is cheap. Real Deal Prime says LeBlanc is my man today. I know Real Deal Prime. I know you guys share last names. Cards versus righties, 270, 775 OPS. Both bullpens are absolutely terrible. If you want to make a live bet, I mean, the wind isn't helping us 8 miles per hour in, but if you wanted to live bet, the Twins bullpen 5.73 ERA, 1.37 whip, converted 5-9. Cards bullpen 5.54 ERA, 1.56 whip, converted 6 of 10. CT Bay says Barrios almost certain to be traded. Jays on him. I don't understand why the Jays would make a move now, really. Why they didn't make a move 15 or 20 games ago. Why they didn't add to the bullpen when we needed it. It just, the whole thing is pretty confusing. Okay, so Not Flush Allen says White Sox team total over. Well, let's take a look again at that total or the full game. This White Sox total, 2-cent move to the under. Wind blowing in. Oh shit! That White Sox game. When am I? Sorry. Let's the Twins Cardinals. I'm back to Twins Cardinals. So I'm on the Twins first 5 minus 120. It comes with a caveat. I don't know if Barrios is going to be pitching. So the click listed pitchers must start. Click LeBlanc too because he's the guy we want to fade. Let's go over the baseball data against these guys. Against Barrios, they're hitting 171 with a 473 OPS. They're 6 for 35 with 1 extra base hit. It was a homer. Against LeBlanc, 311 with a 963 OPS. Donaldson 4 for 11 with 2 jacks. Sano 1 for 3 with a jack. Kepler 3 for 8 with 2 doubles. So I'm here and comfortable on the Twins first 5. Okay. Mally Mouse says minus 120 cost me money on first 5s recently. It was down. It did go down to minus 115. Let's just take a look at this full game Cardinals market movement here. Total opened up at 8.5. It's dropped to 8. The Twins opened up at minus 130. And the Pinnacle now has St. Louis as slight favorites. Lance Thoreau says solid under. And CT Bay says I might take Cardinals action because line will run. Oh, CT Bays, of course. What a good call by CT Bays. I legitimately thought that the reason why the market was moving towards the Cardinals was there were sharps who are saying, I expect Barrios to be traded. I'm going to make a bet on the Cardinals right now, a big bet, action. Because if Barrios is traded, then I'm going to make 50 cents of value. So I legitimately thought that was part of the market move. So it's a very good call CT Bays is making. And then let's take a look at where the cash lies in this spot. 2,357 tickets in. 60% of the tickets on the Cardinals, 74% of cash. And I can explain it. 54% of tickets on the over and 76% of cash on the over. In fact, both spots make sense. And, I wouldn't like if I was in Vegas, I don't think it's a terrible risk if you were pretty certain Barrios is going to get traded to take the over and take the Cardinals. Thank you, Kev Riley, for jumping on. And the Cardinals versus righties, 270, 775 OPS last 30 days. Okay, so I'm on the Twins first 5. Let's roll on. We get to 9:38 p.m. Eastern, and we get to razor sharp picks, Gamblers first glance, Angels money line versus Oakland. And Gamblers first glance was on one yesterday with the Tampa Bay Rays. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. The A's are 28-22 on the road. Angels 29-24 at home. 79 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to straight away center. So Nut Flush Allen has talked about how offense can shine around this time of year in Angel Stadium with the wind blowing out. That Rockies game, the total was 9 2 days ago. I took the over. It was an easy cash for 15 runs were scored. Yesterday, I should have just jumped on it again. No, I did not, but it went over again. All right. And CT Bay says any Cardinals line movement close to 4 p.m. is simply telling you they know trade is imminent. Yeah, it's an excellent point, CT Bay. Thank you so much for adding that. Chris Bassett has had a great season, but not very good on the road. Now, he's not been very good on the road of late, but is that a season-long issue that he's had? I want to say that before I start talking about how he's bad on the road. Let me make sure that I have numbers to back up that statement. Let's move over there right now. We're going to go to Chris Bassett's splits. He's had a good year. And let's see what we're dealing with here. We have at home 2.70 ERA, opponents hitting 200. On the road, 4.11 ERA, opponents hitting 235, and he's 6-0 on the road. So maybe I take that back a little. Let's talk about Bassett here. 3.46 ERA, 1.06 whip on the year, 132 Ks and 130 innings. In his last start, it was a 5-4 loss at the Mariners. He got touched for 4 earned runs, 2 jacks, 3 walks, and 5 innings. Going up against Patrick Sandoval, the lefty, who's cruising. Patrick Sandoval, last start, he went 8 2/3 and allowed just 1 solitary hit, a solo shot, 1 walk, 13 Ks, and a 2-1 win at the Twins. Now, the Twins aren't hitting, but the A's aren't hitting lefties. Over the last 30 days, the A's are hitting 225 with a 689 OPS versus lefties. And yes, I'm with you on the Minnesota first 5, Kev. Christopher Comentini says, I like Sandoval, but the Angels' bats are limp except for Ohtani. There's truth to that. And the Angels' bullpen, 4.86 ERA, 1.55 whip, converted 7 of 12 over their last 30. Look at the A's bullpen, 2.80 ERA, 1.21 whip, have converted 5 of 9. So and Barrios will be a Blue Jay by 4 p.m. Crazy that they're going to invest now. It just really irritates me. But I like Barrios, so be fun to see him. Okay, so let's move over to the market in this spot. We have the A's open up at minus 125. They're now minus 111, a 14-cent move towards the Angels. This total opened up at 8.5, juiced to the over, and it's now juiced to the under. Let's go to baseball data. Baseball data against Bassett, 292 with a 707 OPS. So 65 at-bats. He's allowed 19 hits, 5 extra bases, 5 doubles, no home runs, and 65 at-bats for Bassett. And he's coming off a bad start. Patrick Sandoval against these guys, 233, 632 OPS. If we don't trust the Angels' bats of late, and it's true, last 30 days, 253, 727 OPS. And Crystal Warren says when Angels are underdogs, the under is 9-1. And Puzzler did take the Cards action. And Robert Cherry says Angels A's no score first inning, any takers. So let's just take a look at where the cash lies. 2,761 tickets in. So we have 72% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the A's, but the market has moved to the Angels. Very peculiar. Then you have 48% of the tickets on the under and 54% of the cash on the under. And I can't trust the Angels bullpen. So if I was going to back the Angels, first off, you'd be in good company because Gambler's First Glance is on it. But I would prefer to take them first 5. I would prefer to take them first 5. I really would. And I don't want to double up here. I'm also interested in that first 5 under. So let's just take a look at what I'd be dealing with here with this spot. The first 5 under, 4.5 at minus 115, between minus 115 and minus 120. Bet on lines moved to minus 125. Let's bet 365 moved. I do not want a minus 125 at 4.5. It's just too expensive. Minus 120, okay? And then if I wanted to back the Angels first 5 because Bassett has not been that good on the road and the A's don't hit lefties and I want to stay away from the bullpen, I get a plus line on the Angels first 5. Christopher Comentini says, do these Angels hit Bassett? Not really. They hit with a nice average, 292, but only a 707 OPS. So 19 for 65 with 5 doubles. And Uncle Oliver says, I like that look first 5 for the Angels, Jimmy. I like that. I think that the first 5 under has got to be the spot. Kenny D says, sounds like a first 5 under 5. Bassett coming off a bad start. Let's see what Razor says. Angels are 4-1 their past 5 games versus right-handed starter. Angels are 9-3 in their last 12 after scoring 2 runs or less in their previous game. Angels are 19-9 in their last 28 home games. Oh, I like it. I like it. There's no doubt about that. Let's see what the expected lineup is for this Angels squad. Fletcher, Ohtani, Upton, Iglesias. God, how bad is your offense if you have Jose Iglesias batting cleanup? It's just awful. Stassi, Marsh, Gosselin, Eaton, Mayfield. I mean, that's just atrocious. I cannot back that lineup. I will cheer on Razor's Gambler's First Glance. I will only move on the first 5. Addition to my card, first 5 under 4.5. Right now it's at minus 120, and I want it to stay there. Mike M says Sandoval went deep and double-digit Ks. I like to fade the next start after a stat line like that, and Bassett looking to rebound. Well, let's do something here. Let's do something here as a quick test. Let's go and see at what – let's take a look at the amount of pitches that Sandoval throws. Let's take a look at the amount of pitches, because if he's a slider-heavy pitcher, then I think that might have taken a lot out of him. So let's go here. We're going to go Patrick. But if he's just throwing heat, then I don't see why he wouldn't be able to handle this 11th round pick at the Mission Viejo High School. So let's go. Advanced pitching. Come on. Where are these? Sorry, this is going to take a second. I wasn't planning on doing this. more advanced pitching. Maybe I'll need to go to Fangraphs for this. Here we go. What is this? Percentages. Ratio pitching. There we go. Okay. So this year, it's not helping me. Strikeout percentage. I want to know what the amount of sliders he's throwing. I'm going to need someone else to find this. Okay. Let's just go to Fangraphs. Maybe Fangraphs will do it for me better. Fangraphs. Let's go to Fangraphs. We'll pull up Patrick Sandoval. Sorry about this, you guys. I know this may be painstaking at times, but there's truth to what Mike M's saying. But if he's not throwing a lot of sliders, then do we really need to worry? Standard, advanced, batted ball. Come on. I don't have time for this. Maybe I can get Jose on this. More batted ball. All right. Jose, can I give you a task? Pitch velocity, pitch info type. Okay, here we go.
I was going to say, Jimmy, I've got some breaking news for you. Barrios to the Blue Jays has been confirmed as well.
Holy shit. Wow. Barrios to the Blue Jays confirmed. So anybody and Puzzler just bet that action on the Cardinals.
And Chris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell are in talks with the Rays right now too. Or the Rays are Cubs and all that shit. So a lot of moving parts today. Be aware.
Wow. Thank you for that, Jose. So 17.3% of his pitches are sliders. 17.3. He throws the change 31.1% of the time. And Nutflush said, Jimmy, write it down. Cards team total over 3.5. Ricky Livian says, what's cracking Jimmy Sandoval? Almost no hitter last time. Out fade material. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. But I mean, if a pitcher's not used to ever going 9, let's just. God, sorry, you guys. I know this is taking so long. Thank you for that information, Jose. That was great. Let's just go to his splits right now. Or sorry, his last. Let's go to his full game log. Full game log. Oh, God, of course. It's still Bassett. What an ass clown I am. Okay. This is just making me go batty. All right, I'm going to go back out. I would like to back Sandoval here and not believe in this. But I will only do it if he's throwing that amount of pitches at times this year. Here we go. 8 2/3. Look at the 2 games before. 6, 7 innings and 7 innings. He's been throwing longer games and longer games. This wasn't like a 4 innings. So his last 3 games, he's completed 7 innings. Okay. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5. With Sandoval at home against a team that's not hitting lefties. And look at that Angels lineup this week. Okay, sorry that took so long. Let's move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. LA Dodgers and Arizona Diamondbacks. I wanted to make this bet already, but the full game was at 9, and I wanted the first 5 under, and it was still at 4.5, but Pinnacles moved it to 5. BetOnline's moved it to 5. Hopefully, my patience will work for me because I want this first 5 under at 5. Move over here. And is it at 5 at Bet365? Not yet. It's going to get there. I have to be patient. Matt Paulin says Cards minus 140 now. You know what, you guys? That was such a great job done by the chat, done by CT Bays, and then Puzzler taking advantage of it and betting the action on the Cardinals. It was excellent work. Excellent work. Okay. So here we go. As soon as I get the first 5 at 5, I'm going to bet it. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, 62 and 42, 29-24 on the road are the Dodgers. Diamondbacks are 32 and 71, 19 and 30 at home. Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona, roof closed. Tony Gonsolin going up against Zach Gallen. Gonsolin 2-1, 2.38 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 34 innings, 41 Ks, 21 walks, 4 home runs. His last start, 5 1/3. 2 hits he's allowed. No earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, no 1-0 win at home versus Colorado. I love what we just did there with Patrick Sandoval. Sorry it was not clean. I wish I could got to those stats a little quicker. But he went 7 innings, 8 2/3. It's not like a guy who's going 5 innings, 3 innings, 9 innings. I think he can do it. Mally Mouse says, I also like this first 5 under. Why it's going up. I think why it's going up is because Zach Gallen looked really bad last start. Now, it was his second straight time seeing the Cubs. He's a soft tosser. I find those soft tossers, when they have a good start against the team and then the team gets to see him 5 days later, they can get hit pretty hard. Gonsolin's last start was great at home versus Colorado. Gallen's last start was bad. 7 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and 8-3 loss to the Cubs. Gallen's not had a very good year. 4.80 ERA, 1.40 whip. There's Joey Jack in the house. Leonard Porsche joining us. Yes, the taint has arrived. The taint play of the day is correlated with my action. Yankees full game run line at plus 105. Okay, so back to this spot. The Dodgers versus righties, 248, 764 OPS over the last 30 days. D-backs versus righties, 231, 696 OPS. The Diamondbacks bullpen has improved slightly over the last 30 days, but still 4.83 ERA, 1.51 whip, converted 7 of 13. Dodgers bullpen, 3.75 ERA, 1.26 whip, have converted 3 of 10. Christopher Comentini says Dodgers should be jacked up knowing Scherzer is coming. This is what I want to sort of focus on, is the fact that Zach Gallen against the LA Dodgers, they are 3 for 35 against them. 3 for 35 with no homers, a single, a double, and a triple. They're hitting .086 with a 427 OPS. Against Gonsolin, the Diamondbacks are hitting 159 with a 423 OPS. So I think what happens is you look at Gallen ERA, you look at what the Dodgers do offensively, and it goes from 4.5 to 5. I'm not concerned. There's Paco Healy in the house. We've missed you, Paco, my guy. I'm not concerned that when the full game total is 9, you assume that you're going to get offered a 5. So I was a little upset when it was 4.5, and I said, just wait till the 5. So as soon as I get the first 5 under 5, I'm going to move on it. Let's go over to where the cash lies and the market moves here. We're going to go to full game money lines and totals, and then I do want to take a look at the first 5. But full game money lines and totals here for the Dodger spot opens at 9, minus 106 to the over. It's now minus 117 to the over. The Dodgers open up at minus 166. They're now minus 188. There's a 22-cent move. 22-cent move. Then we're going to pop up the cash flow. And the cash flow in this Dodgers Arizona, we have 80% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the Dodgers, a 22-cent move towards them. Then we have 61% of the tickets on the over, but just 25% of the cash. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel really good. Enough Lashan says, wow, Austin Martin. This is so confusing. We must consider or believe that we're going to keep Jose Barrios for a while. Nut Flush Allen says, I know we always try to get lines in early, but for me personally, I will not bet any games till a few minutes before it starts. Too many last-second trades. So first 5, under 5, as soon as I can get it, I will bet it. Let's move on. We got 2 games left on this card. Next up, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, Houston Astros, 63-40, 29-20 on the road at San Francisco Giants, 64-38, 33-16 at home. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California, 60 Fahrenheit clear, 12 miles per hour out to right center. Framber Valdez on the bump, 6-2, 2.97 ERA, 1.29 whip, 66 2/3, 60 Ks, 30 walks. So the K to walk ratio, not great, 7 home runs allowed. And his last start was extremely interesting. Against the team in the Rangers that's not hitting lefties, he goes 6 innings. He doesn't allow a hit, but he walks 6 batters. 4 strikeouts, 4-1 win. Going up against Kevin Gausman. Do you expect Kevin Gausman to have a bounce back spot? Do you expect Gausman? 9-4, 2.21 ERA, 0.92 whip, 122 innings, 140 Ks, 37 walks, 11 home runs. Matt Paulin says D-backs with a day off here, staying back at home today after a long road trip. Gallen's supposed to be the ace of the lineup. Only reason why I like him. I like it, Matty. Doug Reed says 11 mile per hour in. Oh, you have that? I have 12 miles per hour to right center. Let's pull up RotoWire and see what they've got. And here we go. Yeah, no, they have 11 miles per hour out as well. Okay, Mr. Sticky Finger says take the over. I guess that makes sense with the way Gausman looked last out. Astros versus righties, 225, 714 OPS last 30. They haven't been hitting them. Giants versus lefties have been hitting lefties at a high average at 261, but just 739 OPS. And CT Base says Barrios under team control. That makes sense. So they want him for next year. Okay. Gausman's last start was, I don't know. Was it an anomaly? It's your call from a capping standpoint. But it is crucial. It is crucial when you're capping this game to decide whether you trust Kevin Gausman here. 2.21 ERA, 0.92 whip, 140 Ks and 122 innings. Oh, wind out. Okay, thanks, Doug. Wind out. Last start, 4 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 walks, 2 Ks, and a 10-2 loss at home versus the Pirates. It was crazy. Very, very strange. Astros bullpen last 30, not being very good. 4.29 ERA, 1.34 whip. Giants bullpen being lights out. So let's move here to see what we're dealing with. 2,786 tickets in. 58% of the tickets on the Giants, 74% of the cash. So has the market moved towards the Giants? They open up, a huge move. They open up basically as a pick 'em, and they're now minus 126. So a plus 20-cent move towards them. This total was originally juiced to the under. It's now juiced to the over 7.5. So let's see if the cash follows that. Look at this. 43% of the tickets on the under. Now, there's only 2,786 tickets in. So by game time, we'll have 10 to 15,000 tickets in. But 99% of the cash on the under? Very strange. Doug Reed has a good point saying both teams had days off, rested bullpens. Mally Mal said Houston made Flexen look like a clown. This is not a comfortable spot for me. I do not know what happened with Gausman last start, and because of that, I do not want anything to do with this game. We move on to 10:10 p.m. Eastern, the last game on the card. Rockies, 44-59, 11-39 on the road at San Diego Padres, 60-45, 35-20 at home. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California, 72 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour sideways in. Nice that we have Paco Lopez here in the chat, so he can help us. He is our San Diego Padres expert. 72 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, sideways and in. John Gray going up against Ryan Weathers. Gray 6-6, 3.67 ERA, 1.22 whip, 98 innings, 91 Ks, 40 walks, 12 home runs. Ryan Weathers on the other side, 4-2, 2.73 ERA, 1.15 whip, 62 2/3, 46 Ks, 21 walks, 8 home runs. And Mally Mal says, when good pitchers struggling, they struggle for a couple of games. Crystal Warren saying, it seems the Astros always show up for the Giants. Christopher Comentini says, I would stay away, no clear edge in that Astros-Giants game. Okay, so Rockies last 30 days are hitting 246, 730 OPS versus lefties. Padres are smashing righties. Oh, did I say Paco Lopez? sorry. Not Paco Healy. I'm sorry. Horse racing's on my mind, and I'm heading to it mine right after. I'm sorry, Paco. I'm sorry. Horse racing on my mind, man. Okay. Rockies bullpen, 5.16 ERA, 1.49 whip, have converted 5 of 10 save opportunities last 30. Padres bullpen, 3.43 ERA, 1.35 whip, have converted 8 of 12. And Paco Healy will be at Petco tonight. Paco Healy, what's your take on this spot? Let's look at what the market is holding for us here. We have the total at 8.5. There's been a 3-cent move back to the over. It was slightly juiced to the under at minus 110. It's now minus 107 at Pinnacle. And there's been a 15-cent move over to Ryan Weathers, minus 175, now minus 190. Paco Healy says laying the run line. Millsy says your team lost me 120 by not picking Suggs. I'm going to boycott that hat. Sorry, Millsy. But I trust Masai. And clearly Malachi Flynn is the guy we think is going to be our point guard. And I have no problem with that. People are losing their minds here that we didn't pick Suggs, but I have no problem with any of that. I'm upset that you lost $120, but okay. So let's move on to the baseball data here and then see where the cash lies. In baseball data against Gray, 274 with an 828 OPS. Lot of at-bats they've had against Johnny Gray. Against Weathers, 308 with an 846 OPS. Let's see where the cash is. With the cash here. Oh, nice. We have Nut Flush Allen talking about Gausman. Wow, there we go. This is what makes the show so special. Gausman's wife had an emergency in pregnancy right before his last start. Wow. Nut Flush, that's incredibly important information. Incredibly important information. Wow. Then what does that do with your capping? Not flush. Then so you expect so what happened in the is everything okay? Wow, that's wild. Jimmy Gomez like in the over first 5 in the Jays game. Von Polo is on these Rockies. So let's take a look at where the cash lies. 3,669 tickets in. 69% of the tickets on the Padres, 95% of the cash. 63% of the tickets on the over, 58% of the cash on the over. Not Flush Allen says, now, no doubt his wife was in his head. He gets right today, and this lineup is beautiful. Wow. Okay. A lot of moving parts in today's card. Gaussman gets right at home. And let's just go back there very quickly to that San Francisco game. So a huge market move towards the Giants. God, and Crawford and Posey are a go. Jimmy Gomez, OG Lowbagger there. And Professor Chris saying Framber Valdez is a beast. Yes, Michael Irvelina, we've been trying to figure that all out. Barrios to the Blue Jays. Big move for the Jays. Okay, so I don't feel very comfortable here with Gray and Weathers on the bump. I don't know if I really trust either of them to that extent. Now, here's another problem. Do the Rockies trade Trevor Story before first pitch? The Rockies are going to be sellers. So who goes before first pitch? And if somebody goes... Kevin Ryan says, I don't know if Mr. Break down those games. I thank God I have listed pitchers must start like I do on all my games because the Minnesota first 5, now there's no Barrios, Kev. Wow. Yeah, no, Flush, I read it. Okay, so the way I see this is that if you want the Padres, you bet them now. You bet them now because – but there's two sides of the coin. What happens if the Rockies keep Story? Does he want to stay in Colorado? Does that galvanize the clubhouse? And Donald still says Gausman's wife is fine. He took time off and everything was in the clear before he made the start. Oh, interesting. Interesting, but probably Donald fell out of his routine, which we know how important it is to these pitchers. Wow, this is great. You guys are so helpful. This is so interesting. So I don't know what to do with the Rockies-Padres start. Oh, you have to ask yourself, and this works more than it doesn't. Are you going to, and look, it worked beautifully for Puzzler today. Are you going to bet that the Rockies make a trade? If you bet that the Rockies are going to make a trade, then the Padres are the move. Christopher commenting say Rockies just rake the Angels. Oh no, Doug. There's no Barrios starting. He won't be. He's got to get to Canada. He's got to get. It's going to take a lot of shit. Michael Evelina, much love to you. So yeah, no doubt. Okay, so this is more to come here. Okay, so that is the entire MLB card with tons of moving parts and really not a lot of action for me. I'm a quarter of a unit away from my season high, sitting 230 wins, 188 losses, 55%, plus 17.99 units, ROI, plus 4.30%, average line minus 112. Okay, so do we know now who's pitching for the Washington Nationals? We don't, but there's an assumption. I think we have an idea of who we expect to be on the bump. And I wonder if I could get that info. Because if it's a old, soft-tossing lefty, you have to think that the over is going to be in business. All right, so let's move on to the Phillies Pirates. I cannot take this first 5 under, even though you can assume that Velasquez gets right here. I find it so difficult to have money on this clown. The total's gone from 4.5 to 5. I do not need to reach, and I'm not moving on that. Doug Reed says I'll meet him at the airport. And it is Lester. Kenny V says it is Lester. Now, the weather's going to help. 83 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour in. I'm going to have to study that more. And Fap, what happened? I couldn't get the information on the 8th race yesterday. But thank you for sharing your hard work with us. I'm going to copy and paste this. And yeah, Chris blowing out. Thank you, Fap. I couldn't get the did something go wrong? It won. Oh God, great job, Fap. I didn't tail it. It makes me extremely angry. I tried to tail all your action. Okay, so Phillies Pirates off. Yes, 9 miles per hour to right in the Phillies Pirates game. Royals Blue Jays. So many moving parts. Will they be galvanized by this pickup of Jose Barrios? Probably. Will their heads be right in this new stadium? I can't do it. Oh, much love to you, Slatsy, my guy. Much love to you. Thank you for the kind words. Paco Healy says, thick marine layer at Petco tonight. Rockies don't do well at sea level. Might be losing their star. No way to be on the Rockies. Wow. Orioles Tigers, I'm off. I do not know what to do with Matt Harvey. Jose Seje play today is on the Rays. First 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 105. Sharpie moved off his K plan with Carlos Carrasco. The Reds, Mets, I've got no move. My first spot on this card is Yankees first 5 -1/2. I already betted at minus 120. The taint play of the day is Yankees full game run line plus 105. I'm already on the under 8.5 in the Brewers Braves. I didn't double up there. Mariners Rangers. I was very interested in backing the Mariners today, but I wanted Logan Gilbert on the bump. And Michael Rivellina says, going to the Angels game tonight, I think I'm taking the over 8. Both teams hit each other, and I don't trust Sandoval. Interesting. Craig Wood says, I like the Padres tonight from a Rockies fan. Gray's due for a bad outing. This has been his MO in the past. No, Kev. There's no way to like the Twins right now without Barrios on the bump. No way. So let's move on to the Rusty Kuntz play of the day's White Sox team total over 2.5. First 5 at minus 120. My Twins first 5 bet is voided with the pitching change, so I've got no concerns there. And now I probably want the over. I probably want the over in that game. Has that moved, or has it just been pulled from the board? Let's just see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna still want to make bank on this spot. Okay, it's just taken off the board. I'm interested in the over. Very interested in the over. Oh, Bailey Ober is going to be in. Okay, I'm gonna have to study that more. I'm on the one edition from this show. There hasn't been many. Angels, Oakland. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5. Razor Sharp picks his Gambler's first glance is on the Angels at plus 107. As soon as I get a 5, I will be on the first 5 under Dodgers, Arizona Diamondbacks. I find the information coming in about Kevin Gausman for the Giants-Astros game riveting, but I don't know exactly what to do. And Neil says Corey Koski back home in Toronto. And then this Rockies-Padres game, if the Rockies trade somebody, you have to think that the Padres will be the look. And the Padres are smashing righties right now. I wonder if I have the confidence to bet that the Rockies are going to move Trevor Story, or do they just build their team around him? I don't know. We have some birthdays. Brian Watson, happy 68th birthday. Jeff Shahadi, happy birthday, my friend. Isaiah Bolden's girlfriend's 24th birthday. Happy birthday to all of you guys. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is the Phillies is the main one, and then Yankees is the next one. And then Fap Win, who gave us a 4-1 winner in Aussie racing yesterday, is on Darwin Race 7, Niewand, Niewand, at odds of 10-1. He's betting it to win place. Penny Bombs comes in, says, what do we think of Martin and Woods? I'm pretty uncomfortable with the whole thing at this point, Spenny. I'm pretty uncomfortable with the whole thing. With the way that the other teams in our division have bulked up, I'm pretty comfortable just waiting till next year. So I'm pretty uncomfortable. Turnsy says the show made my drive a lot easier. Have a good day, guys. Let's cash, everyone. Much love to you, Turnsy, and to all you guys in the chat. This is what makes this show special. So thankful to roll with all you guys. Fap Win with some more action. AFL this weekend. Fremantle to beat Richmond at odds of plus 150. plus 150 right there. Thank you, Fap. Doug Reed, best bets, Philly, Yankees, Rays, Detroit, Angels, Giants, and Padres. Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable with this, Benny. There it is. We have Mr. Gokster live golf show today, 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. Chris Comentini, Professor Chris, Mr. Gokster, Doug Reed, all you guys, Lineal Land, Stephen C. on Giants team total over 3.5. That might be a really sharp look. Mally Mal, Puzzler, Sean V, Kevin Riley, Craig Wood, Michael Irvelina, Life of Von Polo, Slatsy 45, Paco Healy, CT Bays. Wasn't CT Bays incredible on the show today? He was so helpful. All you guys, thank you so much for all your support. Robert Allen, it was a great week, and we're a quarter of a unit away from our season high. We're up over double-digit units since the All-Star break. Let's keep it rolling right now. Keep it rolling. Does Ella want to say a quick goodbye? Ella just rolled in. Ella, do you want to say a quick goodbye? You going to run over here? Are you going to run over? Come over here, you little cutie pie. You going to say, you going to wish everybody good luck?
Goodbye to you.
Goodbye and good luck.
Goodbye and good luck.
Thank you, sweetheart. I love you so much. You ready to go to Woodbine? We're going to watch the horses? Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Leche, Alos Bookmakers, let's go!